So today I will be doing the tutorial for the gift bag, and it is on sale now on my Etsy shop, which is Tea Time and Dolls. You will receive a digital file for all the purse parts to put them together. You can alter this purse. So here's the traditional ways, and these elements, I'm missing a flower here, so never mind that. But it does come with, you know, the flower, the butterfly elements, these bows, and these other elements, and, you know, the buckle and stuff like that, and the handle. I will show you all the files that are included. I just want to show you, you know, the purses first. So this is the traditional one, and I did add some lace here, and it has the paper handle here. Another way that you can alter this purse, instead of using the paper handle, you can use lace. And this is great for when you want to ship it. But I also have an alternative to this purse where it's not, you know, like boxed like this. It's not three-dimensional. It's not quite flat either. And that's great for shipping. This one is great for when you want to hand gift, you know, someone. When not hand gift, what am I saying? When you're gifting when you're gifting someone in person, this is, you know, one of the ways that you can do it with, that it's, you know, the three-dimensional, and it has the paper handle. But here's another way that you can also ship, and you can fold this as well. And I also have the lace. No, I'm sorry, I have the paper down there. But you can put, you know, wrap the lace around the ring down here, like I did up here. Or you can, you know, if that's going to be hidden, you can just use the paper. Okay, so, and it does have the blue bow as well. It has the pink one, as you saw here. And it has this one. And you can make them double-sided because there is a mirror image of that bow. Here I added lace. So this is another way that you can decorate the closure. I did add some lace. And this element is also included. There goes the other blue ones again. Now, the other way that you can use the rings, instead of using the paper rings that the file, that's included in the file, you can also use an oval die and, you know, cut out foil cardstock like I did here. This one is gold. Or you can use any other color cardstock that you want if you don't want to use the one that it's included in the file. And I've also cut these. I happen to have a die that fits the, you know, the ring that's included in the file. So that was by pure luck because I didn't, you know, size it against that oval die. I just, you know, created it. So that's another way. And here's another one. This one is the rose gold paper. It makes it look like it's, you know, like real, almost like it mimics like metal rings on a purse. Okay, now these that I'm about to show you is another alternative to creating the purse, where it's still, you know, you can still put stuff in it, but it's not as bulky. Here's the gusset, and these are also included in the file, so you can do the gussets instead. And this is great to ship in a bubble envelope because it's, you know, it expands and it won't get damaged. So here's another way, and I will show you how I achieved this and the rosettes. Here's the other one. I created 2 of these. I used one of the, the elements to make a tag instead. And here's this piece here. This is also included in the file. And here's a rosette. Okay. And then here's the smaller version that's also included with the bigger version. So this is the pint size. That reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. One of my favorite shows. I absolutely loved the Ingalls Family Values. Favorite show. Okay, so this one is only going to be gusseted. It will not be 3-dimensional like the first one I showed you. And it comes with all these elements as well, except for the lace, of course, because it is a digital file. It comes with the smaller bows in blue and in pink as well. Okay, now for these, when you're gonna make purses that doesn't have the box, you know, that's not 3-dimensional like this, you know, that it's kind of like a box, you're gonna have these parts left over. You're gonna have the side layering part left over. So I took both of those from the sides and I just created the rosette and added it to the purse. And then you have this layering part on the bottom that you will not use when you create, you know, the one with the gusset as well. So that's how I achieved this rosette. How I created these bows, and here are the other rosettes that I created with the extra parts. So nothing really goes to waste. Not even the handle. As you can see here, there's lace here, and it does have, when you print out, it will have the paper handle. Guess what? That's how I created the bows. So you're getting the most out of your paper and the most out of your ink. So nothing will definitely not go to waste. So here are the bows that I created using the handles. And these right here, the reason why I had to make these like that, you know, which is a double bow, I did it using the top of this part of the purse. And that's how I achieved these. So you can make pretty bows and add them to your purses as well, like I did there. You're getting the most out of your paper and the most out of your ink. So you will have, I will be sending one of these, but you got to print this one out twice. Because of course you need a front and back, and this is the layering part. This is the base. And you're going to print out 2 of these if you're going to use this one, or you can cut it out and use it as a template to trace around a cardstock. This is like a very light cream cardstock. So I used this, cut it all out, and then traced it on a solid piece of cardstock. So you don't have to, you know, actually use this if you don't want to. You can use this on another designer paper as well and create an entirely different bag with different papers. So you can use all these parts to create bags in different colors with different design paper as well. And I'm going to show you what else I did using the template. Okay, so that's that. So again, you either gonna, if you're gonna use this, print out 2 of these. Here's another one. You're only going to get, well, you're only going to receive one of these, and this is the sides. So you're gonna have to cut this off and reprint this part by itself, okay? Because you are going to need two of these, or again, you can take this out, trace it on another solid cardstock, you know, that matches whatever cardstock you cut out here for the front and back base of the purse, if that makes sense. And here are the layering parts. This is the base for the closure, and this is the layering part for the closure. And these are all the parts. These are the rings and all the elements. This is the other one, because you are going to want to double the handle up. So that's why you have 4 here. And then here's more of the layering parts. So you're going to print one of this out, one of these, and one of these. And one of these. Only one, okay? Okay, I don't need that. And this is for the smaller purse. So you will only print out one of these. One of these. This is the base. These are the layering. And one of these for the elements and the gusset. Now, here's what I've done. Here's what else I've used the templates for. Get ready, guys. And I will do a separate video in doing a flip through on this one. I created a mini album using the templates. Look at that. So this is the mini album, and I will give you a sneak peek, but that's it, because I don't want this part of the video to be too long, because I do want to do the tutorial, and I'm already 13 minutes in. That's kind of long. Okay, and I'm going to change this ribbon, and it is covered in the inside. Oh, okay. And here's a sneak peek of the mini album in the inside. I will go more into details with that. So you could also use it to create a mini album. Of course, at the bottom it's going to be a separate piece because this is much wider. So with that being said, let's get to the tutorial. So the first thing that I like to do is to score what needs to be scored. In this case, this is the sides, and you're going to score these at a 1/2 inch on both sides. And you're going to do the same thing to this one. You're also going to score these where this line is. And I've already scored these. So you're going to score these as well on both of them. And that's pretty much it for all the scoring here. Okay. The second thing that I like to do is I like to layer all my pieces. And this has the black outline here, so I will be gluing on this side. This will be my outside. And these are all the parts that I cut out. I did pre-cut everything. Everything was cut so they could be ready to assemble. So these are all my embellishments, and these are for the loops here, for the circles, for the rings actually. Okay, so you guys know how to glue and layer, right? I'm pretty sure you do. Even beginners, you can pretty much do this without my guide. So I'm just going to add glue all over here and layer this on top. And I'm going to do it to both of these. I will be layering this as well. Okay. What else needs to be layered? Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that for now, and I will do that off camera. I'm gluing these back to back for sturdiness. Put these to the side. I'm going to put this one to the side. And now we're going to assemble these. Okay. And for these, before I actually crease these, we're just going to cut right along the triangles. This is what's going to help the paper curve around the bottom of the purse. You're also going to glue down your layering piece. The ones with the 2 notches, that's the top of the purse. And I'm layering this, and this does leave a border. So it does leave a border there. And on the sides, you'll notice that, especially if you're already pre-scored it, you will notice that. And I am curling the bottom because that is the bottom of the purse, and it does curve. All right, now we can go ahead and score all of these lines. And if you notice, this is the printed part where the ink, where the lines are. And I did layer this on top of here, where I didn't do that here because this is going to show. This is not going to show because this is going inside of the purse. And then it's clean in the inside as well. Okay. Now let's assemble this. Again, the 2 notches go on the top. This is the part that curves on the bottom of the bag. And we're just going to glue these in place like this. And you see how it curves? And I'm going to do a section at a time. So I'm not going to glue this bottom part yet. And this has, you see how it goes in and then it comes out? I'm going to contour that. You can use any kind of glue that you feel comfortable with. I feel comfortable with wet glue and then I have wiggle time, and if it's not placed properly, I can remove it real quickly before it sets. And we're actually gonna, okay, we're actually gonna remove this bottom part here on both sides. Because that's going to actually go on top. It's going to go on top of this. And I'm also going to remove some of the excess here. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some glue there. And you're going to do this for the other side as well. So I'm going to flip this inward so I can see. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set up a bit before I turn it. Okay. Then I'm gonna let this set a bit before I turn it again. And then I'll do it again here. And there we have the contour here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to glue this one here too the same way. Contour it, cut off these flaps here, angle it. Okay. Now that that's done, and I'm just pushing my fingers out. I'm pushing in this way to contour this part. Okay, there we have it. And we're just going to do the same thing for this side. Okay. All right. I'm just going to add glue here. You know, just enough to glue this part down. I'm going to add glue here. Flip this up and press down. And we're halfway done, guys. And I'm just going to add this down here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the closure. This is my front because I folded the bottom flap down so you don't see this. It's a little bit more smoother this way. Okay, let's see. This is less than 1/2 inch down, but more than 1/4 inch. What would that be? 3/8? You guys that follow me know that I'm fraction challenged. So when it comes to measuring, ay. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. And I'm going to eyeball the center. That's okay if glue comes out. We're going to layer this with these parts here that comes in the kit. So it cleans it off nicely. Just make sure there's no glue showing here. And let's see how that worked. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty much centered there. Okay, that'll work. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna attach the handles. The handles are a little bit lengthy, but you choose how long or short you want them. You know, you can make the handles as long or short as you want. I don't care for them to be too long. So I'm gonna say right here would be good for me. So that means that means I gotta make them a little bit lower because the ring is gonna be hanging up a little bit. So I'm gonna bend it right here. Let me see. How do I like that? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm not gonna crease it here, but I'm just gonna fold it over this way so that I can measure how much I folded up here, and that's pretty good. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off the excess. You want to line it up with this one here. And this is how you would do it with the ribbon as well. You can put ribbon here and here, or you can just put ribbon here and you can put the paper down there. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this one, because there are 4 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and just line it up. Yeah, that's pretty good. And before I glue these parts down, I'm just going to cut right there. And right there. And then I glue the rest of this down, and you will do the same thing for the other one, the exact same thing. And there you have your handle, and you can go ahead and glue that in place. Before I glue that in place though, I'm going to take one of these. You know, we want the handles even, right? And I'm going to, oopsie, don't move. I'm just going to go bend it there. And bend it here, and that gives me for the other handle, and this can get glued in place. Make sure that the part that you layered in the back is towards the inside so you don't see those cut lines. And you just glue these in place with hot glue. I'm going to do one at a time. And I just put the ring right, it's sitting right on top of the edge of the purse here. And that's how I line it up, so that way they're all even. And then you glue this in place. And you will do that in the back after you put your handle as well. You will glue this part last. And you just punch in. You can put Velcro, magnets, or you can punch holes like I've done. I've just punched holes in the other ones. And I put a tie there. I did attach the ones in the back, but I wanted to show you what I mean. I put wet glue here. And then I'm just going to add some hot glue here. Just here on the bottom. And this one as well. And this is just to reinforce it. And since this lines up, I don't have to guess where to put this. I'm going to press it where the hot glue is. And then I'll press it everywhere else. And it cleans it off nicely there. And the same thing you will do in the back. You will add your wet glue, or any kind of glue that you want. that you know, feel comfortable with. I like fabric tack, but that stuff is expensive, and I have to order it online. And it's more expensive to order it online than it is to buy it in person. So I use my wet glue. I think at this point you could also use your double-sided tape, and just again put your hot glue here, your hot glue there, and your hot glue here this time as well, and then you glue this in place, and it cleans it off nicely. And then you use the other elements to decorate. You have this, you can put this here. You have your butterflies and your bows. You have these elements here. What else? You have this one here. I've put this one in one of my purses and I put it down here. Look how pretty that is. So from here on out, it's all on you and how you want to decorate. So on to assembling this with the gussets, and that's all I'm going to show you. Everything else you already know how to do. So I just want to I'm going to use the small bag for this. So pretty much everything is the same. You know, this, you assemble this the same way we did the big one. You put your, this doesn't have rings for here because this is just way too small. So you put your, you know, you glue your lace or your ribbon directly here, and then you glue this in place. Okay? And of course we're gonna, you know, layer these first. So I went ahead and layered the pieces so that we can put on the gussets. Now, when I create files in the program that I use, I don't measure, and I don't know how to use the lines they have there to measure. So I'm pretty much winging it as I go along. So with this, there's no exact middle here to score. So what I do is I'll fold it over where it's even, and that gives me my mark for the middle. From here on out, what I do is I will score where I did that line, and then to do the scoring for these edges, what I do is I just move it over to where the first scoring line is, and then I score where it's marked 1/4 of an inch. And then I do the same thing on this side where I move it over where this first line is here, and then I'll just score where the 1/2 inch is. I'll do that to both of these. So that's how I figure out the middle for this. And I'm going to fold it and crease it this way, and then I'll crease these this way. And you see here they do line up. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? And I am not a graphic designer, so you know, I pretty much have to guess what I'm doing. So I do not measure in the when I make digitals in that program. Okay, so all I'm gonna do here, and I am gonna notch here. Okay, let's say right here. I am gonna make 2 little notches here, and I'll just fold this over and use that as a guide. And I will use that for the, hey, I just had the other side. Okay, I'm feeling a little, oh. Oopsie. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm just gonna use those as guides. And I'm eyeballing it. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make sure. So when I assembled this before. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then the rest gets glued to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing for this side. This is the best way to assemble it. You do one side and then this side, and then you could attach it to the back part or front, whichever way you want to look at it. Let's see how that looks. Just a little bit of a thing here. I'll just cut that off a little bit. And this one too. Okay. And then you're just going to attach this side here. And I'm just going to add glue here, just on the edges. And from here on out, you just attach, you know, you layer this together, you put in your ring and your little belt. And then you do the same thing that we did to the big one. And again, instead of adding, because this doesn't have paper handles either, this you're gonna have to, need ribbon or lace. You can even use, you can tear fabric. That would be really shabby. Here, I just added, the ribbon directly to the paper, and then of course we did the layering part like we did to the big purse. And the file is now up for sale. I will also link in the description box the flip through for the mini album using the template for the back purse. So with that being said, let's share, be fair, be filled with love, and love one another. Take good care, everybody.